Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here and I'm back for another crafty video. This time I thought what we'd do is we'd make some stamps. So I normally make my vintagey looking giant stamps, but I haven't ever made a Christmassy one, so I'm going to make some Christmassy ones with you. So what I'm going to use is, this is some old card from when I used to make cards. So it's, you know, it's supposed to fold over and make a whatever size that is, 5x5, 4x4, 6x4, 2x3, whatever, 2x2. Oh, it's 2x2 that joiners use mostly, isn't it? And then this is some more card that I've gessoed over, and it was literally just because I was mopping up some gesso. I'd done something else and I was mopping some gesso up. And also it knocked it back because it was too bright for me. And then this is some more that, again, I was just like, I literally brushed my brush off with. So that's the only thing that is. It's just the same card as that. It's just got gesso on it. So we're going to make some Christmas stamps now. So I'm gonna just cut this one down first of all. Well, I want to say, when I say cut it down, do I want to cut it down? Yeah, I do, yeah. I'm just going to tear it down. Okay, so we're just going to use half of it. We'll use that half. And then we're just going to cut it down. So these are the scallop scissors. Okay, so these got the scalloped edge on it. So if you can see there, they've got the scallops. They're not the pinking style, so that's those ones there. They're just slightly different. Hopefully you'll be able to see that, because I can't see what you can see. So this is what these are. Now when you cut things with this, let me cut this piece of card. If I was cutting round, normally what I would end up with is I would end up with a fluted edge. Okay, I end up with this edge, but actually it's this edge that I want, because that looks more, for me, that looks more like a stamp. So in order to do that, I used to cut with my left hand in order to get it, but then somebody said to me, why don't you turn your scissors up the other way round and cut it? And it just didn't occur to me before. So now I just cut with them upside down, and there you go. So now you get that stampy edge. So that's how I do mine. I do sometimes when I'm making really giant ones, I make this shape much bigger, but then I do it either on my scan and cut or on my Cricut. So because I have both, because why have one when you can have 10 different machines? Although I have recently sold one of my machines, so I did have 2 scan and cuts, and I've got rid of one now because I don't need to. So it's because I'd had the original one, the CM 300, when it came out in the UK, and then they upgraded it to the CM 900, or no, I had the CM 600, and then they upgraded it to the CM 900, and I thought, oh, I had to have that. So, but now I use my Cricut more often because I prefer it. So, you know, if Cricut want to endorse me, that's absolutely fine. So, I won't chirp about it. Well, they don't really chirp, do they? They kind of make that clicky noise, which is also the same noise as a dolphin makes. So it's interchangeable for me, but at least I can make it. So I can make it with just my tongue, that sound. Other people, not other people. I've done it wrong. Not everybody can make that sound, apparently. It's like not everybody can roll their tongue, and not everybody can touch their nose with their tongue. I mean, obviously not. Don't mean not everybody can touch their nose because they don't know where it is. No. Because their coordination is so bad that they can't touch their nose. they can touch their nose with their feet. No, not with their feet. No, they can touch their toes. That was the other thing I was thinking, toes. I definitely can't touch my toes anymore, so my stomach is starting to be able to touch my toes. So I don't know. I don't even know what I was talking about then. What did I? Why did I start? Crickets and dolphins. Yeah, because of course they're all like very logical things to talk about. My mum. This is completely off tangent. My mum is a cricket. No, my mum is a Christadelphian. Okay, and in my family they're known as the crystal dolphins. So there you go. That's my other tenuous link to being a dolphin. So I was brought up as a crystal dolphin. So and now I'm just shiny like a crystal. So yeah, shut up, Dave. So yes, Christadelphian. Yeah, don't know why I'm even talking about Christadelphians. And most people say, "What's that?" So, and then it's too long for me to explain a religion that I'm really not part of anymore. So, you know, they're not. It's not like it's a cult or anything, or the occult. But it's just I would say I was agnostic. So my mind is open, but it's not closed. No, it's not, I don't know, fixed. Shut up, Dave, just go on with it. Okay, so this is another one that I've made, and this is another one I used gesso on, and I've already cut this with a serrated edge, a fluted edge, or be careful because these are really spiky now. So anyway, I'm going to start to decorate this. So I've got some scraps of paper here, and it's a great way and a great opportunity to use up all your scraps. Now, I am going to use up my scraps, and I'm not going to worry about is it Christmassy or whatever, because I'm going to cover it with a Christmas image, and really you're not going to then notice whether it's Christmassy or not. Sorry, I just flinged that over there and like never see it again. So you know I like to have a bit more of a straight edge on my stamps. So I'm going to go for having a bit of a straight edge. Okay, so I'm going to start placing. I always place first, then I glue it down and stick them in a completely different place because I can't remember where I've placed them. But at least I know that I've got enough to kind of fit on the stamp. The same with when I'm placing anything really. So I just like to have a bit of an idea, and then you can also shape the ones that are going to go in the corners, etc. And then you can fill out what's in the middle. This is very sticky. I don't know why it's sticky. So I'm just thinking of how I need to... Oh, hang on. It says something about sexual on there. I don't know whether that's a Christmassy word that I want to see. It's not a Christmassy word. I don't think it's something I want to see on a stamp, is what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, like, you know, it's not a non-Christmassy word. It's just not something you associate with. Shut up, Dave. I feel like I'm digging out my own hole here. So, okay. So I'm just going to kind of place. Now, this is something I really love doing. I love collaging. Lots of people commented on my collage capability. That they like my collaging. And if you're one of those people, then I thank you. I thank you. No, it's that's got too straight edge. I'm going to get rid of all of these bits. Oh, no, that says to autumn on it. I can't get rid of that for obvious reasons. But I'm going to get rid of all of the little tiny bits, because if I don't get rid of them now, then they'll hang around and I'll never use them. Okay, so this is a bit of music paper that I'd decoupaged. So, have a way up on which way round. Maybe make that straighter. So, sorry if you can hear anything in the background. It's Brian. He's here. So, It's currently Wednesday evening at, I keep looking at the clock and our clocks have gone back, so it's the wrong time. It's currently 5 to 9 in the evening, so I've had a bit of a day at work, and I just thought I'll spend some crafty time with my crafty friends and do something crafty. So I've got my crafty friend and best friend sat next to me, and I've got you guys out there as well. Well, hopefully I'm not talking to myself, so although there are no guarantees. Sorry, I'm just rummaging looking for the kind of paper that I want. I don't want anything with too much colour itself. I want it to be kind of very plain. Oh, that's a bit of fabric. So I'm here for the fabric. That seems to be a term now. I'm here for something. I'm not mad at it. That's another term that's like just crept into people's vocabulary. So I don't know where it came from.
Too much drag race.
Oh, apparently Brian says it's too much drag race. So that must be where it came from then. So I'm here for it. I'm not mad at it. I'm here for it.
The whole world's living for the drag.
Yeah, apparently Brian says the whole world's living for drag. Well, sorry, the drag. It's a drag, probably. So anyway, piecing these bits together. See, this is a bit of fabric, so I think I'm gonna put that on there. I know it's got a squared off edge. I can sort some of that out, but also I just want to place some other bits of paper on first before I commit. Because I kind of think I want it to sit on top and then maybe decoupage over the top of that, or I might decoupage and then put that on to lift whatever I stick to the front of it. I don't know. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with this yet. So we're just placing the time being, and that way then you're not committing to anything. You're not, you know, if I'm gluing it down, if I was gluing it down, you've kind of committed and it might not look the way that you intended it to. It gives you a bit more control this way. So, and same with the edges. I'm not worried about inking the edges until I actually come to stick it down. I'm trying not to put these two together because you know, it's the same font, so I don't want it to be too samey. I'm just going to layer up my little bits of text that I've got, and then we'll go from there. So let's tear that off. I will get rid of those bits that I've just put to one side. He says, oh, that says homosexual on it. Homosexual lovers who fell out. About a robbery, and oh, it's from that crime book. Might not be the might not be the intent I'm looking for. You know, I'm all here for the homosexuals, being one myself. But I'm here. Oh, stop saying that. I'm here for it. I need some more book page. So, excuse me while I lean into shot. Right, there's another. So it's not like I'm suffering for scraps. I do have another bag of scraps, and I probably have another bag of scraps. And yeah, Brian can pass me more. So, definitely, like I say, not struggling for the scraps. I've even got whole sheets in here, which this is supposed to be scrap. Oh, excuse me, I've just burped, like uncontrollable burp, and I really apologise if that came through the microphone, especially as I clutched my pearls in horror. So, that's a technical term, clutching your pearls. It's only if you've got a twin set on and pearls. Sorry? Apparently it's the only time you should wear pearls, according to Brian, is when you're wearing a twin set. Yeah. Inset and Pearls. So this is a page from a giant text, not giant text, see, that would be ridiculous. It's from a large text dictionary, because I have so much stuff. And then I get, look, I might keep that for something, because that's the UK. Then I get book envy when I watch somebody else with, I think I was having book envy last night when I was watching Julie crafting, Julie from Camellia Crafts Designs. So sorry, I do get that wrong every time. I do want to call it Chameleon Craft Designs, but you know, then you wouldn't be able to see it, would you? It should be camouflaged all the time. So that's what chameleons do, isn't it? And they eat flies. So that's all I know. A limited knowledge of the the world of chameleons. Oh, and they're karma chameleon. That's the only other thing. Karma chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Sorry.
That's the camouflage coming in now.
Oh yes, it's camouflaging coming in. I don't even know what that song's about. What on earth is a karma chameleon?
It was a love song about his boyfriend.
It was a love song about his boyfriend, but like, what was he on some hallucinogenic something? Yeah. Well, no, we don't know that, and like, you know, I don't want to be what's that thing? When you're prosecuted by a celebrity.
You're all right. It's well documented now. He was a massive heroin addict.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on from that, because I don't want to get involved in. I don't want to lower the tone. We're having a fun, light-hearted conversation. I don't want to get involved in the kind of drug conversation, because I know nothing about it, completely out of my depth. Right, on to this. So I've decided what I want. Okay. And now I'm going to start sticking it down. Like I say, this will all go horribly wrong, because this won't stay the same. Now, there is one thing that you can do to be able to try and keep things together. So, it's something I've done before. It's not something I do very often. This is called Press and Seal. Okay, so this is by Glad. That's not a gay name at all, is it?
Isn't there an organisation called Glad?
I think there is an organisation called Glad, and I think it's to do with the LGBT community. So anyway, this is by Glad. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this bit because it's fallen apart. And this is Press and Seal. This is not available in the UK. It's only available from Amazon in the UK. But if you happen to live in America, you will have access to this. Oh dear, my phone's just beeped. It's probably telling me to breathe. So you'll probably have access to this if you are in America or Canada. I don't know whether they sell it in Australia or New Zealand or places like that, because I've never been. And if I did, I don't think the first thing I'd do is get off the plane. I've got to see if they sell Glad here. Press and Seal. So this is sticky. It's kind of tacky on one side and not on the other. So the other thing you can do is, the problem is it's a bit staticky. You can put it down like that, and you can press these. And what it shouldn't do is stick to it, but what they should kind of do is cling to it. So then you can lift it up. It doesn't always stay. So you can lift it up. You have to be very gentle. You can lift it up out of the way, and then you can take these pieces back. Or what you can do is then just glue on the side facing down. You know, if you could actually get the glue out, it'd be great. So just glue, or just don't. And then when you press really hard, and it just goes all over the place and up the window and everything. I Don't press while you're squeezing, Dave. Sorry, don't unclog the hole while you squeeze. That's what I meant. So let's deploy the emergency repair kit, which is the needle. And don't press too. I keep saying don't press too hard, and then I feel myself pressing really hard. So anyway, I seem to have got the clog out. Okay, so as I was saying, go back to just putting some glue down on all the bits that you can see. Don't worry about the bits where it overlaps, because you can attend to those shortly. Who are you calling shortly? I'm 6 foot. I'm not short anything. Oh, I've got some news. So I've been nominated for a Slimming World thing. Were you nominated for Mr. Slim or something?
Oh no.
Man of the Year. Man of the Year it is. I've been nominated for.
I'm now heavier than when I started.
So, yeah, Brian was saying he doesn't think he'd be allowed because he's heavier than when he started. Anyway, so I've been nominated for that, so that's kind of my other good news. I've got to take in my before clothes and some pictures, so if I can find any before clothes. She did say that I could do it right from the very beginning, because that was a very good place to start. I say that every time. It's such an old joke. No, I have lost
A lot.
10 stone with Slimming World, and 10 stone for those people who don't measure in stones, because
It's a lot.
is actually £140. So there you go. So that's what the press and hold, stop and stay.
Press and hold.
I don't know whatever it's called. Press and seal. That's what the press and seal can do. And that's what I use it for. I also use it for these things. So when you use this stuff, so there isn't such a big air pocket. So I kind of just press it down in there, and it just helps to keep it all nice and fresh. So, ow! Just rolled over my own foot. Okay, so now if you peel back gently, it should all stay there. You're obviously going to have to help it a little bit. It should all basically stay there, and then any bits like this where it overlaps another bit, you can just get in there and glue. So anyway, that's just a bit of a tip. Please don't go and buy press and seal if that's all you're going to use it for, because I bought mine 4 years ago. I think I've used it twice, so I don't even remember what I bought it for. So I think, I know what it was for, is when I was transferring letters. So it's a bit like when you're doing vinyls. So when you transfer vinyl, you have a transfer sheet, but I was using it for when you cut out lots of little letters from a sheet using your Cricut or your Brother. I use it for then, so that you don't lose all the bits, and you don't have to re-spell out whatever it is you've just cut out. So that's the other thing I use it for. So, but anyway, press and seal. If you're in the market for something that you don't have, because some of us, it's not about buying something because we need it. It's about buying something because we don't already have it in our stash. So you suddenly have that fear of, like, the FOMO thing, the fear of missing out. Although I have a different type of FOMO. So anybody that ever comments on any of my videos, I like to make sure that I reply to everybody's comment, and hopefully that has been the case so far with everybody. And if I haven't done up to now, I will do. So I have a fear of missing someone out. So yeah, so now you know. Now you're all going to be like, oh, right, okay, let's test this principle and then break me, and then I'll see, you know, see me in next time in a rocking chair, rocking backwards and forwards with that manic expression on my face. So anyway, here we go. So this is, you know, you can do it the other way, just the placing way, but this just kind of helps if you just, you know, once you pieced it all out and you kind of think, oh, I want it to be in that same place, I really like the layout of that, then it might be useful to use some stop and stay, press and go, press and hold, press and seal. You see, I looked, it took me a few attempts last time and looked and then found out what it was called, and I didn't retain that information this time round. Sorry, I had to have a drink. I talk all day, then I talk all night, and then I get really parched. The plastic thing that I still can't remember, press and seal, can be used again. So the best thing to do is find out which side is the sticky bit. Okay, but don't stick the two sticky bits together, and just stick them together and then put them to one side, and they're ready to go again until such point as they're no longer ready to go again because they're not sticky. So we've got the kind of basics now. So what I thought is we might do a bit of decoupaging on it. So I'm having a think about what I want. So do I want to stick something over the top, or do I want to just decoupage something? Now, I think I might have a robin. Do I have a robin, Brian? A cut-out robin? Or do I have a robin that I can cut out?
Yeah, do a cut-out robin.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. He's a bit tiny, though. I might use him on another one. So,
I think that was
the only one I have. Okay. So, can I just borrow... Can I borrow these? So I'm going to think about what I want to go on the top, because that's the best thing to do now, is to work backwards from there. Working back to happiness. Yeah. Well, she could go on there, couldn't she? She's a bit grumpy though, isn't she? To be fair, she's got really flushed cheeks and she's right grumpy. Or I could have a robin on a pose box. I have a robin on a pose box. When the red robin goes bob bob bobbing along. I don't know any of that song anymore, so I'll just stop it there because I'm just going to make a fool of myself. Oh no, too late. That dinging in the background is not Brian just entering his next fight. It's it's when you catch the shade on these lights, they go ting. I do like her, but I've put her on another thing before, so she kind of like, she have to stay there. Maybe that. So the problem, lesson that I've learnt whilst doing this thing is that I did do a video that I'm not going to upload because I really didn't like the outcome that I created. So one thing I've learned is don't make the background too busy. So this is why these are book pages and they're not lots of bright colours, because then you find it much harder to overlay and find something that will stand out. So but I will give you a bit of a tip on how to sort that out, maybe shortly, maybe in another video. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner. Oh no, here we go. So slippery slope. Now then, maybe it's because I'm a Londoner has come out. I could do that, and you did the similar sort of thing with that, didn't you? I could possibly do that, couldn't I? But that's quite a similar sort of background. So I quite like that, but the background is too much the similar colour to that. So I'll keep that to one side. But I could do something similar with this, and have, I don't know, maybe have her looking through the... Okay, right. Let me have a look and see what this is going to be like. So I might just get the... Let's get the scissors out, Dave. Let's get my fussy cut scissors out. Oh. Yep. Tim Hart scissors. They come with their own theme tune. So, right, let's do... Okay, that's my fussy cutting done. That's as fussy as I get. No, don't worry, that's not the end of the fussy cutting. Yes, and now I just pass it over to my left and like, Brian will now fussy cut it better. No, I'm going to cut this down. Because it kind of cuts off at a square, I'm going to cut that bit off and kind of just make these look... I'm not going to worry too much about it being a proper holly shape or that sort of thing. I'm just going to go round them. So editing out the bits that I'm not going to keep. And then the thing is, the thing with holly is, as long as you do that kind of like same shape leaf, nobody knows that it wasn't supposed to look like that. So, because it's green. So if you cut round it, or if you cut something off, then you can just kind of reshape it into that kind of, as long as you're doing like that kind of scallop shape on every bit of a leaf, then it's going to look all right, isn't it? So, cutting around all these. This is the best fussy cutting ever not in the history of craft. Not. So I realise that this is a very British image because it's a post box and they are not the same. I know what they look like in America. I don't know what a post box looks like in Canada though. Is it similar, or does it look similar to an American one? An American one is, it's a mailbox, isn't it? It's kind of blue. Blue. I don't know why it's blue, because it's nothing to do with the jungle bug. But ours are bright red. Well, not all of them now. Some of them are painted rainbow colours, and some of them are painted gold still, because we're clinging on to our small victories of like they painted because you get these are quite common if you don't live in the UK. These are quite common, you know. Most streets or main junctions or thoroughfares will have a post box on them. Sometimes they're built into the wall and they don't look quite like this, but they'll have one somewhere. You're never more than a mile away from a post box. So, but in the towns or cities where anybody from that competed in the Olympics and got a gold medal lived, they painted one of them gold in honour of their gold medal, which was really nice. It was really nice to see, and like people would have their photos taken next to these things, but they're still gold, and now they've kind of lost their meaning. It was 2012 and people don't know why they're painted gold, but that's the reason why. So if you come to the UK and you see a gold post box, that's because somebody that won a gold medal lived in that town, or well, comes from that town or city. And that is the maximum that I know about sport. So if you are hoping that I'm going to join you on your pub quiz for all the sports questions, you can think again, because I have no idea. I'm literally out of my depth. So so that's it. That's as much as I can tell you. Oh, and the ones that are painted rainbow colours, that's because of pride. So
There's also a fashion for covering in knitting.
Oh yes, and covering them in knitting there's a fashion for. In fact, we were in Huddersfield and they covered the whole station in knitting, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I could put that on there. Am I here for it?
Are you living for it?
Am I living for it? Is it something, you know, I don't know.
Is it living her strip?
I could put that on there, and I did have somewhere. Maybe I could decoupage a Christmas tree in the background. Let's just keep that out. But I did have here. I could put a bit of this kind of holly in the background, or at the bottom. Could have another. Right. Okay. Let's right. Move these things out of the way, Dave. So I'm just going to try and pull my sleeves up because it's all going to get messy. But I'm not pulling my sleeves up for a fight. I'm pulling them up because I've changed today. So normally I'll sit here wearing my work clothes. Oh, and I'm interviewing tomorrow, so I really need to be careful. I'm only doing one face-to-face. The rest of them are on Zoom, but you know, I have to be careful about not getting my hands too dirty. So I'm thinking, because sometimes that's the most dangerous thing I could ever do, is think. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Christmas tree out and see what I think about that in the background. Okay, so this is a water brush. It's just a water brush. It's just not a brush. It's got like a bullet point tip to it. It's actually a Daler and Brownie. It's a paint marker. Now you fill them up, so the lid comes off, this comes out, you fill it up, this just pops out, fill it up with water or paint or whatever you're doing with it, and it's just, I find it just a bit more controlled than using a brush. So, and I try not to go too close to the edge, because the water will bleed a bit and you don't want to like peel off a bit the bit that you wanted to keep. So I'm going to go around here and get rid of that dog. Sorry, dog. I'll get rid of that dog as well. Editing the dogs out of it. Nothing. I've got nothing against them. They're just not what I want. So I might be here for that lamppost though. Shut up about saying here for. So I'm just going to tear those out and I'll come back for the lamppost if I want that. So I'm just going to now have a bit of a think about whether I want it in the background or not. I'm kind of thinking. Now, when you decoupage it on, it's not going to stand out quite as much. It's going to fade into the background a bit. I like the way that it kind of disappears behind this holly, but I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm quite like the idea of maybe having a bit of this holly wreath. Okay, so don't just tear it, Dave. Get the holly wreath. I don't want to upset the bird. I want to give the bird nowhere to nest. I think I might. Let's just tear it out first. Okay, so let's tear it out and then let's just have a look at what it would look like if we put the bird in. No, there's too many birds then. Who let the birds out? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this a little. So I want it to be, maybe come up to that holly. And bear in mind this is a water brush, so it will drag on things. You just need to be aware of that. So don't try and press hard with this, because that's not the reason for doing this. Let me go around there on here. Just having a wiggly line, because if you have a wiggly line and using the water brush will mean that it pulls the fibres out and they become feathered at the ends, and if they're feathered out, then they when you decoupage over it, that you're less likely to see them. If you have a hard line on the end, you'll see it, and your eye's drawn to a very, because it's not natural. You don't see like straight lines very often in nature. You do obviously sometimes, because that's the power of nature. It's unpredictable. And so anyway, so that's what you do in order to get that. Now obviously those people that have watched me a long time will know that I do a lot of decoupaging, and I've told you how to do that a million times, and you're thinking, not again, Dave. But not everybody has been here for it. So this is what I was kind of thinking. If we move that up a little bit and have that sort of there, I might put that in behind here and just feather it out a bit. When I say feather it out, I mean just like pull all the bits of twine out. Sorry, slightly distracted by Brian like hovering behind me. So
I'm looking the other way, don't worry.
no, it's just your presence. You know, when somebody stands behind you, you just feel like, it's like when I'm at work, I can type, I can use a computer. Well, I can use a computer because I set everybody up on theirs. I can speak to clients on the phone, I can talk to suppliers or whatever, and I have no problem with it. It's the moment somebody stood next to me, I've become a blithering idiot and I can't do any of those things. So it's that fear of being watched that stops you doing it. And that's why those I don't know whether this happens in America, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, wherever you are in the world, all the other countries, please insert here, whether it happens with you guys, but here we will often have a cardboard cutout of a police officer stood in a shop, and you think, well, what's the point of that? But actually, apparently, according to psychology, if even just a pair of eyes looking at you, whether they are real or on a poster, is enough to make you feel like you are being observed. So it's a real good psychology thing. So I quite like that. So okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it apart a bit, and I'm going to put this onto here. Now, I'm not sure, but do I want it to go over to the edge? No, I want it to finish where the book page finishes. That's the word that I was trying to get out, Dave. Book page. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it back for a minute and just put a bit of a line across it. Don't worry about the line, the watery line on the background of the cardboard. It'll be able to get that off. That's no problem. Well, not off. It'll just dry and you'll never see it. So I'm just tearing this bit off, and then when we stick it down, we're going to stick it so that you can just make sure. Let's just get that placing again. So we want it to be, we want it to be a bit about there. So we're going to have the tree almost to the top of the page. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to check this one. So let's just take that off for a minute. We want to have this, and it's going to come to, I'll just get a bit of water. So yeah, you press it down to get the water flowing. Yeah, and then do the same roughly on this edge. Okay, just allowing for any kind of shrinkage, because it will wrinkle a little bit and pull in a bit. Okay, so what do I use? I always use watered down Mod Podge. Okay, now a tip I can give you is, this is watered down Mod Podge. This is, I don't know, it's about 50-50, like 50-50 water to Mod Podge. The other thing you can do is you can add a little bit of vintage photo to it. So this is exactly the same, but this has got a bit of vintage photo. Now, I have them in this dauber style. Some people have them in the sprays. If you haven't got either and you've only got it in the stamp, just stamp a bit on a mat, add some water to it and pick it up with a brush and mix it in, and that will also do it. And I only have a little bit of this. I know it's a massive tub for a little bit, but it's the only empty one I've got left. And what I do is, because you can buy this stuff, there's a couple of people on Etsy that sell their own version of this, and I just made it. So and all it'll do is it'll just mean that when you're doing your decoupaging, it'll give the tissue a similar color to this, so it'll blend in better. So I'm going to put that up there again. We'll just see it's going to come down. Okay, so it can just have a bit of an eye for its placing. We know the shape of a Christmas tree, so we can kind of do that. It goes up to about there. It might go a little bit higher than that, but I'll come back to it if I need to. And then we're just going to put some of this down. Now, obviously, when you're putting this down on dry book paper, it will just, especially if it's old book paper, it will just suck it all up, and it'll get absorbed into the book paper very quickly. So you just want to make sure you've got, it needs to be liquid. The brush shouldn't drag on the surface. So you do that. Now, I know that lots of people use Tim Holtz for it. Use the Tim Holtz matte medium vintage photo, whatever Scooby-Doo thing that it is. But you know, I'm not made of money, so I go for a cheaper option, and that's this. So I always try to do that kind of frugal thing. How can I do this but without spending a fortune? And then what I will always do is I'll just go over the top, and I've told you this a million times, but it's worthwhile saying it again to those people that haven't heard it before. Just gently, if you're brushing over the top of any kind of decoupage, do it very, very gently. Don't go in there bullying a china shop style, thinking that it's going to hold up to your bullishness. Yeah, I was trying to think of the word. You don't want me to tell you what I was thinking. So, I was thinking frigid. I was thinking your frigid approach, but that's not what I meant. I don't know what I thought I was trying to think of, but anybody that's new you'll get used to me, because like I have a thing. Me and words, we're like distant cousins. We know that each other exists, but like we just don't get together very often.
F.R. David wrote a song about him.
So sorry, F.R. David wrote a song about me. All right.
Words.
Yes, words. I didn't know who it was by F.R. David. Yeah, I sing "Words Don't Come Easy to Me" a lot. Right, I'm not going to use that to stick this down, because it's not for glue. It's for Christmas. It's not just for glue, it's for Christmas. Sorry, there are bits that I'm not happy with. And what we'll do is we'll dry it before we commit to things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to place this again and just see. Yeah, okay, right, I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this before I try and put the next element on. The next elephant. Line those elephants up. Right, this is not a hairdryer. If you dry your hair with this, you will have hair like mine, i.e. none. It'll disappear. It'll burn off. That's what happened to mine. I know I used that wash and go, or washed it and it went. So, this is just meant, this is a heat tool. This is for heat embossing, drying out. This is better for drying stuff out because it blows gently and it's quite hot, whereas the heat embossing tool has a more fierce blow and much more concentrated area. So I have one of those as well, which is somewhere under the desk, and that looks like this. So, but you can use that for drying as well. they're interchangeable really. This one just takes longer when you're doing the heat embossing. I think Glynis asked me that, so I did say that you could use them both for, you could use it for heat embossing. I didn't explain and go into the convoluted thing about, yeah, all the other stuff I've just said while I did that. Okay, so that's there. So then that's where that's going to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick him down now. So I had a glue book somewhere here. So I'm just going to use this glue book. And I'm going to glue this down with, just going to use some stick glue. I only ever use Tesco stick glue because it's the cheapest and, well, the cheapest one that does the best job. You can get cheaper, but you can also get a quick fit fitter as well. No, you can get cheaper, but it doesn't work. Sorry, I was thinking you can't get better than a quick fit fitter, which was an advert in the UK. Again, the randomness of my mind. Like a circle in a spiral, like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning on an ever spinning wheel. Like a snowball on a mountain, like a carnival balloon. That's basically how my mind works. That's a story, that's a song about my mind. I think it's actually a song about madness, which basically is a story of a song about my mind. And then I'm going to put that on there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm happy with that once I know where I'm putting it. So I'm going to put that there. I think it goes like that. It does. So it's going here. I'm just going to go round. Yeah, I have lots of random tunes playing in my head, so new here, just expected random that stuff will just fall out of my mind. So and my mouth, yes, and I will say things that are not appropriate at the wrong time, but you know. And I do have,
we have a system for that.
Yes, Brian will often say to me inside voice when, you know, I do have an excuse. I am autistic, so like I do, you know, there are elements of it I cannot control, but equally I have other elements that I can't control. So I do have a bit of echolalia, so I will repeat words or sounds that I like, and sometimes it can sound like I'm making fun of people, and I'm not. It's just because I liked the way somebody said something, so I'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it.
Accents.
Sorry, accents. Yes, I'm really terrible for accents. As in, I'm really terrible at accents as well. But
You're also fascinated.
I am fascinated. So Brian's just saying off camera. I don't know whether you can hear him, but like, he's saying that I am a bit fascinated by accents, and I try to master them, and I listen to them, and I repeat them. And so if you ever catch me doing your accent, I'm really sorry. It's not meant in a, you know, hurtful way at all. And I'm really sorry if I've ever upset anybody with my French accent, because I upset myself with my French accent, to be fair. I learned all my French from a low. So, and if you've never watched a low, because you're not from the UK, yeah, it was a comedy program, so you can just imagine it was like lots of Brits pretending to be French. So yeah, and I'll do I can do a pirate accent. I got pirate.
I don't think you can upset me with that.
So, no, I don't know many pirates to upset. Ha ha.
Johnny Depp, maybe.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. I'll upset Johnny Depp with my pirate accent. So there we go. So I quite like that. Now what I was thinking is, I've just put that back in there. I didn't want to put a lid on there. So what I'm thinking is, I would quite like a number up in this corner. Now I have once seen a number stamp somewhere. Oh, there are some stamps up here. Some number stamps. So I'm thinking, what kind of a number do we want? Now, It would normally be a first, wouldn't it? It'd be a first class stamp you put on a Christmas card. So in the UK we have first and second class stamps. So I'm going to go for a number 1. Oh, no, I'm not going for a number 1. I'll stay here and finish this first. So,
This is full of Christmas stuff.
oh, is it? Oh, Brian's just found a whole load of Christmas stuff. He's found some Christmas embellishments. Yay! Let's just have a look while I'm...
Oh, yeah, numbers in it, that's why I was looking.
Oh, Noel. But what was one there? I had to break it off. Noel. Ho, ho, ho. Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it... No, that's let it go, Dave. Slightly excited. Right, okay, I might come back to that in a second. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to have a number 1 like up here, or actually I think I'm going to have a number 2. I'm going to go for a number 2. It's making me laugh. I don't know whether that's universally translatable, what number 1 and number 2 is. So, I'm going to go for, I think I'll go for this, which is Chianti. Sorry, I'm trying to read. I have had my eyes tested. I do need some more glasses. So Chianti. That's a reference. That's the right reference, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I was thinking, oh no, I feel a bit out of my depth because I don't know much about this kind of thing. I don't know anything about scary stuff. So, except for I have watched The Silence of the Lambs, and I think I remembered that. So, I was a bit traumatized by it, to be fair. So there we go. I've got a number 2. Okay, and the reason why I've left a space is because I was going to put ST next to it. Or am I getting a twitch while I'm doing it? Do I have over there, is there a Sharpie that's a similar sort of colour to that? Like a Chianti, like a fine Chianti, with some flava beans. Is it flava? Flavour? Fava? Father? Fafa.
And give you brown.
Fafa beans. I don't know what Brian said it twice, well, several times. Fava. Like mother and father.
Yeah, just like
Just like
that might be more to it, closer to it, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm asking you, I don't know. Or,
That might be even closer.
oh, blimey. We've got, look, every different style of pen. Oh, maybe.
Cranberry.
Maybe it's because I'm a London. I don't know now. Cannot compute. Not that. I think that's too pink. Not that. Don't think that, because that's too brown. So I think that. I think that is closest. Yes, I'm going to go with that. Or is that closest? I don't know. So that, Brian,
What?
that is that. Yeah, and that is that. But that's too brown and that's that. And that one's too pink, which is that. Sorry for this delay. You know, talk amongst yourselves while we're having a bit of a dilemma here. You're all shouting at the camera now. That one! Pick that one!
No, I'm not so sure, because I don't think either are particularly right.
It doesn't help. Like, how many hands can you have in a camera? Or if you do both. Okay, I know, but like it's going to be challenging. Oh, right, okay, so all right then.
I think that's
No, stay, come back. So just put ST there.
Oh, that was the...
My writing is terrible, so Brian is. Yeah. So are you going to write over the top? Cool. Okay, that'll do. Once it's.
That was all engineered so that I was right for you, wasn't it?
My writing is horrible. I really do not like my writing. I'm say horrible. So just wanted to prove to you it's horrible. So I've never been confident about my writing ever. So yeah, got these out. Oh, exciting! Could do that. Could have a few of those on the front of it. Now the thing is, I have a real problem with random. I mean, like the stuff that I talk about is often random, but the placing of things is never random. I find it hard to be random, spontaneous and random. I'm just like finding more, thinking I can't have those because they're two of the same, so I need one like that. they're all exactly the same, Dave. So what do you think to that, Brian? I could maybe snap one. Like that. Maybe have half of one. What do you think?
Okay.
Sorry, do you know sometimes you just need a second eye? A chakra eye.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like.
Do you like it, those colours? Do you think they need to be a different colour? Should they be gessoed? Should they just stay as being that kind of like vintage look? A little bit of meh.
Give me one of the
All right, okay, Brian has got some stuff out, gesso. You know something? I use gesso, but I don't like the feel of it. It's like that. There's the whole penchant for having dry brushing. It makes me. So, I've broken the end off the thing, but like, so if that was a decent one without a broken thing, yeah, I think it's going to have to be that gessoed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I borrow the gesso? It's all right. I'm not going to ask you to do it, Brian. So
Got your own.
yeah, I know, but yours is out. I mean, like that. You've got a brush that's just ready to go, and I can
right,
just.
you want my...
Yes. Oh
You want my
right.
tools and everything.
Yes, I do. I'm going to use the. Oh no, I don't have to work with actual live gesso. Real life live gesso. Real life, no life. So
The actual advert.
the actual, I found the actual thing now on the internet, and I feel validated because I've actually found it. So like, it's a sketch. I've been quoting the sketch for ever since I've known Brian, and never been able to find it online. So I've been talking about this sketch. It's a Victoria Wood sketch, and I've been talking about it, and Brian just has been thinking all this time that I'm mad, and I've created this thing in my head that's never actually happened, and I found it now, so I feel validated. So
I just think you've written it yourself.
yeah, Brian thought I'd written it myself. But it's actually a whole sketch. It's a 4-minute long sketch, which he's now seen, and I don't think he feels quite the same now, because like he doesn't think I'm going mad. So, well, he still thinks I'm going mad, but like he doesn't think I'm going mad in the same context. So, not for the same reasons. So, when I say going, I mean like obviously already arrived and unpacked my suitcase and, you know, made myself at home when I'm talking about going mad.
Does that say I am or does it say jam?
It says I am. Because remember that all of my pegs were named after Peggy Lee. So so I have a lot of pegs. So just pass me that peg. I have a lot of pegs for when I'm holding things together, okay? And they're all Peggy Lee songs. So this is I am, because I think I'm funny. And this is where the problem stems from.
There's a reason that there was written on, I just can't remember.
The problem stems from the fact that I think I'm funny and the rest of the population is not quite so sure. Well, when I say not quite so sure, they're definitely not sure. Definitely sure that I'm not. Not sure what? I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let's just shut up now, Dave. Shut up, Dave. So, back to where I was. Back in the room. Temporarily, anyway. Yeah, random conversation. But you know, welcome to my world. Yeah, Brian's just saying most things are in this house because that's true. I definitely have a random approach to everything. I think I'm on there. I'm having one. Was it there? One there, and then one here. Was that right? That's about right. Yeah, that'll do. So if you think it's bad and you're watching me, you should try being me. So because I live, or Brian apparently. Brian, luckily,
I've learned to navigate it over the years.
Yeah, Brian's learned to navigate it apparently. He does get to escape though, because like, you know, he has a house to go to. It's an escape, I think. It's a retreat. Oh no, don't try and pick up the one that you've just glued down, Dave. That's a silly thing to do. I'm just going to put these on and then try and kind of just flatten it down a bit. Worcester has to live here. And so do I.
He's as cracked as you are.
Yeah, oh, that's true. My dog is as mad as I am, so as mad as a box of frogs.
You come as a pair.
We're a comedy duo. Life? What real life? No life. Anyway, if you don't know what that's about, then you're like the rest of the population. You're like Brian was a few weeks ago. Okay, so right in there.
Sound like a Victoria Wood sketch, just not one I've ever seen.
So I've put that on there. What I want to do is I want to just kind of press it down and make it a bit flat now. Flatter now. Again, another Victoria Wood sketch. I can quote Victoria Wood sketches like they're going out of fashion. So there we go. So that's our little crafty stampy thing. I was hoping to get more done, but obviously in an hour that's a technical impossibility for me. So yeah, Brian said it was too much talking. I didn't put my thing on.
I said too busy talking.
Too busy talking. I didn't put my thing on. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to get that off now. I was going to have that there, but no, can't now. Tough. Forgot it. So, grrr. So yes. So there we go. So what do you think? Do you like it? Is it? Yeah. I just think it's. Yeah. What do you think? Do you like it?
I like it.
So that's my first Christmas stamp, although it says second. I've just realised there's a problem.
What?
You
said right ST.
I know, but I didn't. I thought I'd use number one.
Okay, fix it.
It's a st.
See a bit of fabric.
Yeah.
Put two on the fabric.
Oh, now you're getting a bit technical now.
Solves your problem.
Oh, let me
just get your fabric on.
Just make my fabric a bit more. Maybe it was meant to be. I'm a Londoner. 'Cause I love London so. Just need to make it a little bit more raggedy, jaggedy. Because it's too perfect.
It's 2-2.
It is 2-2. It's a 2-2. It's not a 1-2, it's a 2-2. So what do the onst there? Like that. Onst.
Well, I meant cover the whole thing and write
All right.
second. But
Oh,
you could
put
do
the
it-
2
you could
on
do
it.
a 1 or yeah.
Right, okay. And then write the st.
Yeah.
Or just put the 2 on and not bother with the st.
We could write. ND.
Well, we don't put st. We're putting the ND, aren't we?
And.
Well, I could find an and in a magazine, in a thing, and put that.
Letters that stamp. Where are they?
I've got letters that stamp. I've got
Where are
things that cut
they? Oh,
and
they're behind.
and stuff that glues and all sorts of things. But like, can you ever find anything when you actually need it? No.
ND.
Oh yeah, there you go. And as if by magic. So I could. Right, right. We're not finishing yet. So if you're thinking, oh good, it's finished, right? Let's get. I can get on with my day. Too late. You missed it. You missed your window of opportunity to get away from me.
Chances gone.
Yeah. If you're still here, you stay in. So just going to use this. So this is the other thing I use this for. It's just when I just need a temporary kind of like surface. I know I've got a glass mat here, but if I take this off, you'll get blinded by the shiny light.
By the madness.
Yeah, blinded by the madness. Now, do I want to make this more greeny in colour, or do I want to make it brownier in colour? I don't want it reddier in colour. What am I going to go for? I am going to go for, oh, I don't know, it's too much. Too much. Brown. Going for brown. Crusty walnuts. Not crusty walnuts. What's the, oh, I can't think what the other one's called. It's walnuts. Crusty, it's not crusty walnuts. Stop saying crusty walnuts, Dave. It's not crusty walnuts. Gathered walnuts. Sticky twigs. So what's the gathered twigs? Gathered, not sticky twigs. Gathered twigs. So it's either gathered twigs or sticky walnuts. No, not sticky walnuts. It's not sticky walnuts. Stop. Walnut stain. Oh, and there's also ground espresso. Yeah. Walnut stain is somewhere in the middle. Halfway up the stairs is the stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. It's not at the bottom, it's not at the top. Yes, please. Brian's just up here for wanted a cup of coffee. I think he's trying to stop me singing. So, sorry, I was just singing. I think was that Robin that sang that. That's not Robin the pop singer. I don't mean. I mean Robin the frog, Kermit's nephew. I think he was the one that sang that. So, and if it wasn't him, I'm sorry for crediting him with a song that he had nothing to do with, and is probably sat at home in his lounge suit saying, that's nothing to do with me. So, although, did I use crusty walnut? No, gathered twig. Well, I can't remember what I used. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, and yes, welcome to my world. So, you're very welcome to my world. Please take it away. So I'm just so this is you've seen me do staining of paper in a similar sort of way. So I'm just doing staining of a fabric in a similar sort of way. So, and I'm just going to dry it with this. So. I'm not sure how well the press and seal dries. Press and seal? Oh, it was press and seal. I'm glad. Glad. Press and seal. Yes, it's the little jokes that make me. I don't know why I'm drying this. This is not what I want to dry. This is what I want to dry. Oh, hello. It's going to go Yeah, so I'm trying to hold back another song, because I'm thinking about the French accent now, and I'm singing chansons d'amour, ra-ta-ta-ta-ta, chanson d'amour. Each time I hear, ra-ta-ta-ta-ta. And if you have no idea what that is, then it's probably because you are young or not from the UK or not from this planet. Although I'm not from this planet and I know about it. So. Okay, so I'm going to do that, I think. Do I want to do that? Yes, I feel like it needs a third element. And I think maybe what I'm going to do, hold that thought, is I'm going to entrails. I don't really think that that's something you want to stamp on, Dave. I was going to stamp on something like this and then use that to cut out round, although my brain is like firing on 15 different million cylinders and it really can't cope with just one cylinder, to be fair. Right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce a bit of green to it. Hello, my name's Dave. No, sorry, that's not the introducing I meant. So that's not big enough, Dave. That's not big enough. Oh, I did. I have this green. That's not the right colour green either, Dave. Excuse me while I reach into shot. Is this maybe sorry, I've gone off piste, so I'm not piste though, so before anybody says anything, it needs to be darker green. That's what it needs to be. Is always helps me to think. So I'm going to tear this bit out here. I'm going to stamp onto this. I think I'm going to use, instead of using a colour, I'm going to use black. I'm just going to see it better. Use my number 2. Sorry, I'm going to have to do a number 2 again. Again, making myself laugh with my childhood schoolboy humour. Do that, and then I'm going to stamp this onto here. Just make a nice impression. It's always good to make a good first impression, especially when you're stamping. So there we go. Got a number 2. Put that back away there. Put that just out of shot for a minute, and then what I'm going to do now is I am going to sort of tear around this, but not be too worried about how it looks. It's a bit fussy tearing is another thing that I like to do. Fussy tearing, because I'm not particularly a fan of fussy cutting, so you know, let's mix it up a bit and do a bit of fussy tearing. So I'm tearing this out. So the happy accidents that we find in, no, I always get this wrong. Yeah, happy accidents. So you make a mistake and it becomes a happy accident, something you can rectify, turn into something else. You can repurpose a bit of green card as well. You can mix it up a bit, change it all around a bit. Got a number 2 on there. And we can stick that on there too. It's kind of picking up the green off there, and we can stamp an ND. So do I now want to have that there, have that there, and then we can stamp an ND into there. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So excuse me while I take 3 years now to find the N and the D. So the N and the D. There's probably more than one N and a D here. So there's an N there. And there's a... I do know my alphabet. I do have a D and an A. But no, it's not an A I'm looking for. It's a, yeah, sure. There's an N and a D. I have N's and D's in my name. Not, I mean, I know that you don't spell Dave with an N, but my surname has got an N in it, so...
2 N's?
I've got 2 N's, yes. I've got 2 N's and I've got no vowels. So... And actually, I found something out yesterday. Like, I really struggle with spelling sometimes, and I'm dyslexic. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it, and we'll stay there. We'll say no more. But I didn't know that rhythm is not spelt with any vowels either. So it took me ages trying to spell rhythm at work because I just could not work out how you spell it. I didn't know it didn't have any vowels in it, and I do now. So, right, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to just kind of place it a bit. I think what I'll do is I'll stick the 2 to the background. And then that way then I can find out where I'm going to stamp the ND. So this is just some 2-in-1 glue. 2-in-1, no, 3-in-1. I'm underestimating its ability now. Can only do 2-in-1 thing. So, and then we're just going to stamp this. I'm going to put ND up there. And those of you that were shouting at the screen earlier, going seconds, and now feel validated. There we go. Perfect. That is what we call a happy accident. So, rather than an unhappy accident. Which is an unhappy accident is when you spill something like your Brad's all over the floor, Dave. Oh, right. Oh, good. Because they were just here and they were always just in elbow knocking ability. And now we're just going to put some of this on. I'm not going to glue the whole thing down. I just want to glue down the middle to kind of capture both bits of fabric. I'm going to smooth it out as well because then it doesn't bleed through. I'm singing Bleeding Love in my head. And now I've got a big string of it that's attached to my fingers. It's like candy floss now, or cotton candy, wherever you're from in the world, whatever you call it. And that way then, when you stick it down, you've got some interaction from it because it's still, you know, still catch it up at the corners and things. So you can make it look a bit more aged, etc. So I look, well, no, slightly. I'll keep that hand in my pocket when I'm like talking in that interview tomorrow. So I'm not being interviewed. I'm interviewing. So you know, I can sit there and just, oh, Dave. It looks like I've been to the. Looks like I've been to the beach now. So it's
Give me the board and I'll clean the board.
And can I give you that as well? Maybe I'll just go. I'll get some use out of it, mightn't I? Is there anything else? Oh, now I'm stuck to everything. Hang on, I know. I'm just trying to get some of the. Things, 'cause my fingers are all sticky. Oh dear, yes. So now I'm going to be interviewing with this on my finger. So, no, good job it comes off.
You got to shake his hand, wasn't it?
I'm like, you know when the cats get something stuck to their fingers. They don't have fingers, Dave. That's the reason why they're domesticated. Because if they had fingers, we'd be domesticated. So
You live with the cat.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I lived with the cat. I was the servant. So, Worcester's definitely more like a child.
She ran this house.
She did. Yes, all 23 years of her, she ran this house. Right. So there we go. We have done it now. Hurrah! I know it was a bit later than scheduled. It's a bit like public transport. It's running slightly later than scheduled, which means a lot later than scheduled. So I hope you like it. I hope you might give it a try. I do love doing my postage stamps. Don't worry about it being a bit runkled and bent. You can straighten it out. It's unlike me. You can straighten it out, and you can, it'll go flat once it's been in a journal for a while anyway. And it's also interactive. You can tell it's been made. So, and then what I would do is I'd either put it as just something that tucks into the book, or I would stick it down. In fact, actually, let's get this out. Let's get physical. I wanna get physical. Yeah. Maybe I don't want to get it. Oh, I might put it there because she's in there. Little Red Riding Hood. So, not there. Could maybe have it there. Oh, I could have it in there. If it goes in there with the... Come on. Yeah. There we go. We can have it in there. And then what I'm thinking is I might have this as a foldy out thing. Perfect. So there we go. We have done it. We've made another thing. Let's put the lids back on things, Dave, because this is when you end up with something dry. Brian has made me a coffee, so cheers. Oh, and he's got me some water as well. So that's it. So I shall take this out of here because I'll be like, where on earth is that stamp? When I come to do its photo shoot for the cover of this video. So that's what we've made. I hope you enjoyed making it with me. I hope you enjoyed your time spent with me. Sorry if you've had to like go into therapy now, but you're welcome. So, so anyway, you all have a lovely afternoon, morning, evening, or whatever time it is with you. My name is Dash of Dave. Please like it. Please subscribe. I think I'm at 472 people subscribed, which has shot right up, and that is completely down to 2 people, and that's Sue from Paper Inspirations and Julie from Camellia Craft Designs, who have really helped me kind of like basically said really nice things about me on their channel. So you've really helped me grow my subscribers. Once I reach 500 subscribers, I am going to give away something that I've made. Not this, because I haven't finished it yet. But I'm going to give away something that I've made. We'll have a bit of a draw or a lucky dip type thing and just give it away. And then eventually, hopefully one day I might reach 1,000 subscribers and I'll do a live. I promise once I reach 1,000 subscribers, I will do a live on YouTube rather than Facebook, because Facebook have annoyed me. So we'll go into that in another video. We could be here all day. All right. So anyway, you know what I say. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I just need to I'll just put these away. All right. Before I forget. So that's what you have to do with your Tim holes. That's become a thing now.
Mine need sharpening. Both here and at home. I've used them so much.
So Brian's need sharpening because he's used them so much. Anyway, I'm going. So as I say, please like and subscribe. Please share it with anybody you know. And I'm going to go. But as I always say to you, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, Brian, for blunting my scissors. So I will see you all very soon. Thank you very much for spending some time with me. Lots of love. Mwah, 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 and lots of crafty hooks. Ooh! And thank you all. Take care. See you soon. Bye.